Alright everybody, back again, and I've been wanting to do this screencast for a while, and that is a idea of what exactly is on my dock, okay? And I've been wanting to share this with you guys for a while. This has been one of my things that I've been wanting to do as a screencast, as I said. And so let's get started. On my dock, and I've got the browser open here just so that I can type these in to give you more information about them. First we have the Finder. Then we have the Launchpad, which I hardly ever use. I just use my hot corners for that if I need to. Next we have GarageBand, which most everybody knows if you have a Mac what GarageBand is. The next program I have is a program that I use for any courses or any diagrams that I have for my students, or anything going on, and you can find that at nicdiagrams.com. And basically this is a service that you can use. It's one of the best that I've found to actually create professional fretboard diagrams, chord charts faster than ever before. Very, very cool stuff. You can create any kind of fretboard diagram you can think of, any size fretboards, pre-prepared grids, or lay them out yourself. They're great for scales. They're great for chord boxes and charts. You can have all different kinds of instruments. You can create your own instruments and tunings as well. And you've got an introductory video here. So basically, you can go ahead and take a tour, and you can also sign up for a free demo. And if you like it, buy it. It's $25 for the standard version. The standard version allows you to create chord diagrams, but it does not allow you to, for example, if I click on buy it does not allow you, here's the comparisons. You can print them, you can create diagrams, and you can do multi-instrument or tuning, but you cannot create scales on the fly. And this is something that's very, handy to have, so that you don't have to manually do it yourself. You don't have a transpose tool. You can't export your diagrams, and trust me, you may know how to screenshot and all this stuff, but it's a pain trying to get all that stuff screenshot and pasted together in Gimp or in Photoshop or whatever. You'll want the export feature. And this is if you have I'll go ahead and let me go back down here. Maybe this will work. Yeah, there we go. This is if you want to copy, places fretboard images on the clipboard for easy transfer between programs like Word, Illustrator, or OpenOffice, or whatever. Now, this is just my basic Zoom for the Mac. It's not anything fancy, and the quality will be different. So it's $25, $49 for the upgrade. What you do is you buy the standard version. They give you an unlock key. And then you upgrade to Pro, and they give you a different unlock key. You can also buy it on DVD. And so it's very, very interesting. If I was to go back here and do the tour, or actually it's a download for the demo. You don't have you can't, it's not an online thing. But it's very amazing. I've been wanting to do a tutorial on Nick diagrams as well for a long time. Maybe I can do some of those in the future. Don't know how near future, but I like actually the idea of screencasting, sitting next to my computer and getting a lot of these tutorials out and a lot of these screencast videos out. So that's Nick diagrams, okay? So we'll go ahead and we'll just leave that up until we need to type another one. So the next in the list is something called Line In. Okay, I'm just going to click this. I can't remember where I found this, but I was having problems having to be able to play my guitar through the Mac. And I couldn't get it to work without having to open GarageBand all the time. So I located this, and apparently this must be the actual name of the site, rogueamoeba.com. They have some freebies here, and that's where it came from. Line In is a simple application for the OS X. Enables the soft playthrough of audio from input devices. In simple terms, you can use it to play sound coming through a microphone or any other device plugged into your sound in port. So basically, hit pass-through, which is already enabled, and it allows the signal to pass through to the audio of the Mac so that I can actually hear it coming out of my speakers. And this is what I use on my Hangouts and things like that. And then when you want to disable it, you just disable the pass-through. And you can select where you want it to come from and all this stuff. So, and I tried this earlier with a lapel mic, but I didn't think to select the built-in line input or anything like that. So I may have to try that later. Okay, so that's line in, and for some reason, half the time it doesn't show it up here to where you can quit it. So I just go down here and right-click and quit from there. The next thing to use is Audacity. Okay, so Audacity, SourceForge.net. Okay, that's the website that you get it at. This is one of the most amazing free open source softwares that you can have if you are involved in anything with audio editing or with movie editing that you need audio, or if you're just trying to create tracks, if you need it for, you've recorded something in audio format and you want to edit it. Basically, that's, you can see some screenshots here. You can see it running on Mac OS X. This is what it looks like. Audacity is amazing. Really, really good software. It doesn't take a whole lot to learn. Yes, there looks like a lot of bells and whistles, but it doesn't take a whole lot to learn. If you're trying to record audio off your computer, you can click the record button, change your input to the computer or whatever, and use it for all kinds of things. If you have any questions on this, you can find tons of stuff for Audacity on YouTube. And I'm sure that most everybody out there that's watching this right now already knows what Audacity is. So you got different kinds of filters that you can download. Like here's a noise removal effect that you can have. You have change of pitch, change the tempo. You can record with Audacity. Later on, you see the difference in this. This WAV file here is obviously kind of small, but you can amplify that later if you need to via the use of all the different effects and filters that it has. And this is where you can clean up audio if you have a lot of hiss, or if you have some other things. You can use filters and tweak the EQ and things like that too if you want to. Audacity.sourceforge.net. SourceForge.net. It's available in Windows, it's available in Linux, and it's available in Mac. Okay, gotta try that out. It's really amazing. A lot of people that are in podcasting use Audacity for their audio editing. So if you're a podcaster or you have been thinking about going to podcasting, check out Audacity. You won't regret it. It's amazing. Okay, so the next thing is Finale Notepad. Finale Notepad. This is something I downloaded very recently so that I could finally write a few tabs here and there. Like you know me, I don't really care for finding out the tabs of my stuff because some of it's kind of complex and it's aggravating to sit down and tab all this stuff up. But this is something that I had for like just very basic things if I need to use it. You can download it, and it is the Notepad, your free introduction into music notation software. So you can use it for tabs and you can use it for notation. Okay, and it's free. It's totally 100% free. You can use it on your Mac. I've got it on the Mac. It may even be available for iPad and all these other things. It has system requirements here. So we got you can get started here. Whether you're notating guitar tablature, composing a piano solo, or arranging for a jazz combo, Notepad Setup Wizard sets up your score automatically. So you've got different ways for that. The first thing was guitar notation software, which they said. So if we go to, what's this one? Drums, just different things that you need. You can capture ideas. Your notepad is there. Select notes on your computer keyboard by typing the note names or entering the notes in step time using a MIDI keyboard. So you can enter them into Notepad for something for that. That's really actually a good idea. Then you can hear it. You can play it back. You can do some other markings and some lyrics and things like that you need to add if you need to, which I don't really have the whole scope of idea of what all this thing does. I just use it like maybe one time. May even remove it from my dock before long because I hardly ever use it. Then you can share it, print it, and exchange different files and all this. So that's Finale Notepad. Moving along, we have Safari, which I hardly ever use. The only reason I have it here is so that I can test. Excuse me, it just passed up Chrome. That's what I'm using right now. Using Chrome, I've got Chrome, Safari, and Firefox, the three main web browsers on a Mac. Don't have Internet Explorer, of course this is a Mac. But I've got these enabled here mainly for when I need to test things on my website to make sure they work across multiple browsers. Firefox I sometimes have to use for YouTube because Chrome lately, which is weird, Chrome is a Google product, such as, just as YouTube is a Google product. And recently, after the OS X Mavericks update, Chrome is having an issue with whenever I create a new tab and you click on it for the first time, it won't scroll. It just stays stationary. Actually, it does scroll, but you don't see it scroll. So you have to click on a previous tab, then click back on it again, and then it starts to work. Well, Chrome has, had a little bit of issues like that. And also with YouTube, for some reason, Chrome doesn't allow me to edit my annotations. So I kind of have to use Firefox for that. Safari, I don't use, period. It's just there for the fact that it's another browser I can test out, website things to make sure there's no bugs. Moving along, we have OpenOffice. If you have never tried OpenOffice, it's openoffice.org. All right, now a little thing about OpenOffice that I learned when I was using Linux for the longest. OpenOffice actually was originally created by one team who branched out, and after this was bought by, I think, Oracle or Sun, bought out, OpenOffice was. They branched out into something called LibreOffice. Libre office.org. This apparently, from what I've learned through my Linux experience, is the original team that created OpenOffice. And so if you like the flavor of OpenOffice, then LibreOffice is the team of the original creators. And apparently they have more frequent updates. And they created the software, so they know what works best with the software. So I've really actually thought about downloading LibreOffice and working with it. My wife is working with it right now. I haven't downloaded it right now. I haven't really had a need for it. Don't really want to change from OpenOffice. I'm kind of cool with it as it is. But if I find a need for it later, then I might download it. But anyway, this is basically your whole Office suite, as you were seeing here when it was changing. You have your free Office suite. OpenOffice is totally free as well. Says the free Office suite the community has been dreaming of for 12 years. You got your writer, you got your spreadsheet, your presentation, your database, your calculations, and your drawing platform. Probably even more. I'm not sure. That's the main website that it takes you to if you go here. This was just basically a lead page, a splash page to get you to the main site. So you can look at the features, you can look at all these things in LibreOffice, or you can go to, I want to download Apache Office, OpenOffice. You can want to learn more, you click on that. This is a very, stripped, bare bones website. So it shows some things about what OpenOffice is. Like I said, a lot of you may already know what this is, and I apologize if this is redundant to you, but this is just what's on my dock. And I use this all the time because I'm all the time using it for typing up blog posts, or typing up any typing that needs to be done on my products or anything like that. I use it before I put it on the blog post. That way I already have a copy of it, and I can save it to my desktop or to my computer. And then after it's written, I can copy it and then paste it into the blog itself. That way I don't have to worry about, while the blog's going on, if it loses or if it shuts down or something like that. I've already got a copy of it here. Okay, so that's your productivity suite, basically, is what LibreOffice and OpenOffice is. All right, so moving along, we have VLC. And I'd say everybody on YouTube probably knows what VLC is. All right, this is what I recommend people that buy my products, such as Secrets of Texas Blues Guitar.com. If you go there, that's what I recommend people download so that they can view the videos accurately. Basically, this sets for Windows. You want, because I clicked on the Windows. What you need to do is go to videoland.org, not land, but LAN. Okay, and then whenever you get to videoland.org, you will see it pop up. It will automatically recognize what kind of operating system you're using. For me, it recognizes that I'm using a Mac, so it offers for me to download on a Mac. you can go to, there's another place, other systems right here is usually where I tell people to go. That way they can download whatever their system is. It's for Mac, it's for Linux, you know. Basically, VLC Media Player is a free and open source cross-platform multimedia player and framework that plays most multimedia files as well as DVD, audio CD, VCD, and various streaming protocols. Okay, VC Player is the mother of all media players. It will play virtually anything you throw into it, okay? When Windows Media Player doesn't work and QuickTime doesn't work, video, VLC Media Player works, okay? And it has, you don't have to install any codecs. It has all the codecs built in that you'll need. You just download it and run it whenever you're, and I use it for most of watching of my MP4s and anything else other than MOV, which opens, defaultly with QuickTime. It is amazing. If you're having problems watching videos on any platform or any operating system, then you need to download VLC Media Player. It's just a real time saver. Plus, and I'll open this up and show you this really cool feature. You can subscribe to podcasts into this, okay? And I've subscribed to a few podcasts, and the cool thing is that you can listen. Some of those podcasts that I've subscribed to include Virtual Assistant podcast, okay? So let's say I wanted to listen to one of these, and you can find this by going to virtualassistantpodcast.com. It's by Cliff Ravenscurman.
Virtual Assistant Podcast, episode number 30.
Okay, so let's say I don't have a lot of time, or if you're listening to an audiobook, this is really great for this too. I will go here and go to playback and check this out. I can bump this up so that I get through this faster, okay? A lot of your successful people will listen to audiobooks and music, not music, but audiobooks and podcasts and things like that of the nature of being read to or presentations. They will listen to it faster. And you, believe it or not, you do retain this information. So listen to this now.
Entertaining, educational, and encouraging content that makes a difference.
This is GSPN.TV.
Join the community.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Virtual Assistant Podcast. My name is Cliff Ravenscurman, and of course, this is the podcast that answers all of your questions about having a virtual assistant.
Okay, so you can see what that sounds like, and that might have been loud, and if it was, I apologize. Yeah, okay. So you can see how that is beneficial, because you can totally go through a 40-minute podcast in almost half the time because of the playback. This is what I recommend for listening to podcasts and subscribing to podcasts, because I have not found a way to do that in iTunes. And for that reason, I have decided to subscribe and listen to my podcast through VLC Media Player, okay? So that's VLC Media Player. And the next thing over here you have is called Handbrake. Now this has a weird website. It's handbrake.fr. I don't know if it means French or whatever. This is what I use to convert all of my video files. Once I record it, if like this screencast that's happening right now, it will save in a .mov, a movie file. And then I will bring it into Handbrake, fix my settings over here, and then convert it using Handbrake, and it will basically, without losing any quality, I'm going to export this in 720p, without losing any quality, you're going to be able to see the same thing in about half the size. So if I have a 2 gigabyte file, it will convert it down to 900 megs or around a gig, maybe a little higher. Handbrake is an invaluable tool. It's an invaluable tool if anybody is working with video at all. Okay, so it's very cool. Probably does a lot more things that I do. Convert video from nearly any format, so you can convert from one to another. I export in MP4, which seems to be the best format. H.264 codec, or H.264 is right here, the video's codec, and then MP4 for the container format. It's free and it's open source, okay, totally free, and it's multi-platform. You can use it on Windows, Mac, and Linux, okay? So, and then once again, most of these sites nowadays will give you the download link for your system, okay? So we have features that we can go to and see what it does. It's built-in device presets. You can also, once again, if you have any questions on these, go to YouTube, since you're already here, type in Handbrake, or how to convert video with Handbrake, how to shrink your files with Handbrake. Any of these things you have questions about, YouTube or Google is your friend. Okay, so you got massive input and output resources here. More features here: title, chapter selection, chapter markers, live video preview. I probably need to check this out myself because I just use it just to convert and compress my files. Probably does a lot more stuff than I could use it for. So that's Handbrake, and I recommend that you check this out if you haven't already. Next we have iMovie. I use iMovie 11 because iMovie 10, unless they fixed it, the new version that came with MacX, they do not allow you to edit the audio of the video. In other words, you can't select the audio in sections and turn it up, turn it down. You can't do any of that. So unless they fix that, I'm sticking with iMovie 11, which was the version before that. iDVD, which they don't make anymore. I had to download this off another website, and I tried it again the other day on my wife's computer, and it did not work. So I'm kind of leery about formatting this computer because of that, because I'm not sure if it would ever work again on this computer. I don't know why they took away iDVD. I don't know why. Apple's got some great products, but I do not know why they took away iDVD. And I don't know why that the new MacBook that my wife got, that they do not have a super drive on it. They don't have any kind of disk drive whatsoever. I understand the whole idea behind cloud management. You have hard drive space that you can store things on the cloud. You can watch movies on the cloud. But still, there's still going to be a need for DVDs if you want to rent a Netflix or rent a Redbox DVD and pop it in your laptop on the go. There's still going to be a need if you want to burn things instead of relying on digital media like a external hard drive that is prone to break after a few years or crash or malfunction in some way. There's still going to be a need, and I do this, to back up your files on DVD. That way you don't have to worry about it crashing. It's there. Okay? So I don't know why they got rid of that, but I've got a copy of it here. The next thing is called Mpeg streamclip. And I really haven't used this in a long time. Some of these things I may actually end up taking off. But you go to squared5.com. Okay, this is for Mac and Windows. All right. It says it's a powerful free. And once again, most of these, if not all of these so far, have been free software. Free converter, video converter, player, and editor. You can edit, kind of maybe cut clips and split clips and things like that. And maybe even join them together. I haven't used it in forever, so I'm not exactly sure all of what it's capable of. But it can play mini movie files, not only MPEGs. It converts MPEG files between MUX and DMUX formats for authoring. It can encode movies to many formats, including iPod. It can cut, trim, and join movies. Okay, so that's very handy, so that you don't have to go into, I don't know why I haven't thought of this, instead of having to go into iMovie and iDVD, having to join all these movies together. If I had to stop this in the middle of this and edit some of it out and start recording again, I could join those files here. And I actually finished doing 2 videos that I could have joined together, but that's fine. I may do that later. I don't know. Mpeg streamclip. You can also download videos from YouTube and Google by entering the page URL. So that's pretty handy to have. Okay, you can use it to open and play most movie formats, which, like I said, I use VLC for, including MPEG files or transport streams. Edit them with cut, copy, paste, and trim. Blah 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 blah. So you get the idea. Here's some supported formats. So I may leave that on there. I may end up using that later. So it's a handy little tool. Mpeg streamclip. It's squared5.com. Next thing we have is Quicktime Player, which is what I'm using to record this screencast with. Most of you are familiar with that. Then we have Skype, which I'm pretty sure the world knows about. Okay, so I'm not even going to type it in. Although I am kind of aggravated about Skype. Apparently you cannot, in the Mac version, you cannot screen share. Okay, now I'm not sure if you can do it with, seems like I read somewhere, as long as you don't have video enabled, then you can share your screen. I don't know if that means that I can disable video in the call, share my screen, stop sharing my screen, then enable video again, or what. But that's what aggravates me about Skype, is that now you cannot share your screen on a Mac version. You can with Windows, but you can't with Mac for some reason. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, next we have Gimp. All right, Gimp. the GNU Image Manipulation Program. General, I don't know what the GNU means. I think it's something to do with a general license or something like that. Now you go to Gimp and you can find it right here and you can download it. But let's see here. There is a trick to this. Basically, if you go to this website, gimp.lisanet.de. Okay, let me see what this looks like with that. Okay, it's basically going to take you to this thing. This version is the one you want. Okay, this one for some reason, even though it's the official site, seems like I learned this too when I was learning Linux. Doesn't when you put it on a Mac, it doesn't have the full capabilities of it unless they've changed that. So ever since then, I have downloaded it when I need it from this website, gimp.lisanet.de. So this is Gimp on OS X. You can download it, and it's totally free. Once again, it is open source. All right. So you can use it for photo. It's basically a project which provides pre-built and easy to install application bundles. This includes support for, and it also includes the MacX systems, okay? I guess this one has, like it says, pre-built application bundles, okay? This one does not have those application bundles, if I'm not mistaken. This has more features on this version of Gimp. So, let's get right to what Gimp is. It's basically a Photoshop variation that's totally free. You will see some of the things that look familiar. It takes a little bit to get used to if you're more of a Photoshop person, but it's just easier for me to show you what it looks like by opening it. Okay. The latest version is 2.8 point something, and usually I think by default when this opens, these are not connected to this window. Single window mode. That's it. See now how everything's separated. You have layers, you have this, and you have the thing here. That's very aggravating to keep up with that, so I always go to single window mode, and it just combines everything together. Over here you have your layers, your channels, your paths, your undo, and your fonts. I don't know if that comes, pre-installed like that with the fonts over there, but that's something I added. Then here you have your tool properties, your options, brushes, patterns, and gradients. All your tools are up here, and you can go and edit your photos. This is what I used to edit my thumbnails with, in case you were wondering. May outsource them at some point in time. But I use this program quite a lot for any photo editing that I need to do. It's very feature rich, and you can also change the preferences. You can change the look of this, okay? So I can have, if I would like, I can change the interface, the theme. I can change to default. I can change it to aqua. That's the thing that I'm thinking of. Yeah, see that? Aqua. It makes it a little more blue. Then you got default. But I prefer the dark color. It looks a lot less blocky. See how everything has sharp corners and everything. It's very primitive looking. It's very Windows looking, actually. But this just makes it a little more streamlined when I do the dark. But you get all these options here for the preferences. And all these awesome effects. If you're familiar with Photoshop, you can use a lot of the same. It's a lot of the same ideas. You have tools here, which are located down here. Filters, all tons of filters here that you can use. Okay, and the Python foo, the script foo, some of these other things. These are the alpha to logo. These are very interesting. I think these down here are some of the what it was referring to as pre-built application bundles. I think it already has some of the filters and things like that that are pre-built in. That was what it was talking about and referring to. Okay, so that's Gimp. Go check it out on gimp.lisanet.de. And you can ask the people, if you want to, kind of email the actual gimp.org people and see if they fixed that or which version is best, which place is best to download it from. Ever since I heard that, I've just been downloading it from here when I need it. To the already wide range of default plugins shipped with a standard Gimp distribution, GIMP on OS X now adds some more really great plugins for photo editing and retouching. See, that's what I'm saying. The default plugins that are shipped with a standard GIMP distribution. That's this. This is the standard, okay? This is the plain one. It looks exactly the same, but there's some other things within the interface, within the program itself that are different. So the one on OS X here is it adds more really great plugins for photo editing and retouching. So we have some extra plugins. I don't know if these are the extra ones that they're talking about or what. So if I go to the main spot here, this is GIMP on OS X. Now if you're running a Windows, you don't have to worry about this. You go to the gimp.org and download it from there. But if you're running a Macintosh, get it here, okay? Okay, so the next thing, Skitch. Now this program, if you've not heard of Skitch, you want to get this. This is a program by Evernote, okay? And you can find it at evernote.com/skitch. This is amazing. You can, let's just say you're going to take a picture or a screenshot or something. This allows you to annotate it, okay? You can draw arrows, you can add text, you can add stamps, you can give your virtual assistant or your collaborator online directions as to what goes where, which is what I've been doing. For example, here, let's see. Quickly focus on what's important using annotation and markup. Okay, so you have an annotation arrow pointing to a certain feature with the picture that you've taken. Make your point with shapes, arrows, and quick sketches instead of having to do a lot of words. This is amazing that a lot of people rely on words. Images, it makes things so much easier. And if you haven't checked it out, you need to go back where I talk about books that I own that you should read. Check out the back of the napkin by Dan Roam. Just go to danroam, DANROAM.com, or back of the napkin. Look up that and check that out. It talks about solving images or solving problems with pictures. Very amazing stuff. It means so much worth. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. When you draw something and make it so easy to understand, that saves so many words, so many keystrokes. You just don't have a clue until you start using all these features. Use Skitch on your desktop, tablet, phone, give feedback, and share ideas, okay? Let's watch a 1-minute video of this, and you can decide for yourself if this is something you want, okay? Here we go. Guys, isn't that awesome? I'm going to show you one quick thing that I noticed that's amazing. A couple things, actually. And that is, this went so fast, you can actually use this little puzzle tool and block out what you don't want people to see. That's awesome. Makes it so much easier. It just totally scrambles whatever's there. You don't want somebody to see your license plate. It says Evernote. Take that and block it out. The other thing is, it actually saves and uploads, syncs all your images here to, I don't know if it's to Evernote system or if Skitch has a separate system. I know when I pull up Skitch, it shows me all of my previously saved notes. You can easily delete these if they're bogging your system down. I don't know if this goes to the cloud or if it saves to somewhere on your hard drive or not, but they're easily accessed. Now, I'm not going to open mine because it has some things in there that has to do with my Bluegrass course, so I'm not going to open that. But anyway, go to evernote.com/skitch, download this program. It's totally free, and it's an amazing program. You'll find yourself using it all the time. Next thing, Xmind. All right, now I hardly ever use this, but I'm probably going to start using this a lot more. Xmind, the most professional mind map software. Now, to my knowledge, I haven't used this in a while, but to my knowledge, this is free. Well, it says upgrade to Pro here. Hopefully, it's still free. Free. All kinds of diagrams. You got a mind toolbox, which is relationship boundaries, summary, labels, markers, blah, blah, blah. You have local network sharing. No, I don't see you need to see this. And you can share it on the web. If you do Plus, which is $79, I guess a year, you can export if you need to Word, PDF, whatever. And you have Creative Toolbox, which is clip arts, themes, blah, blah, blah. And the most popular is $100. And you have all this plus brainstorming mode, presentation mode, Gantt view, business toolbox, something you can basically mind map with people to collaborate with. Now, the other thing that I recommend, that I have not used this, but from what I've seen, it looks awesome. Lucid Chart, is this it? I don't want to see the logo. Yeah, Lucid Chart. Diagrams done right. Now, there is a pricing feature here as well. Okay, so you have $3 a month, a free one, 25 megs, and you have storage space, and you have 60 objects per document. Mind mapping, blah, blah, blah. You might not want to deal with this one. I don't know. I know this is another one that's kind of like that. It's hard to find free mind mapping tools nowadays. Another one's called FreeMind. It's kind of outdated. And another one is called MindMeister, which is also pricey. But anyway, Xmind, I use this. Like I said, I haven't been using it, but I used to use it on Windows. Millions of people use it to clarify thinking. You have a video. So you can export here. This is, once again, if you have Pro features, which I don't have Pro features. Probably don't need the Pro features. So let's just give you an idea. Once again, I don't know how long this video is. Let's see if it will show us. It's a 1 minute 48 video. Let's show you what you can do with Xmind.
Xmind is a powerful mind mapping tool that lets you organize your ideas using topics, icons, and structures. A mind map contains a root in the center with branches radiating from it. This structure works especially well in brainstorming sessions, where users can collect ideas related to a central topic but don't need to analyze, organize, or prioritize them. Xmind supports multiple structures so that you can organize your ideas in the most efficient way. Use markers to quickly identify attributes on your map. Relationships link elements with a common theme. And boundary groups subtopics and styles the boundary around the topics. You can add files like PDFs and images to your mind map to help your thought process. Notes allow you to expand on your ideas with additional information. With Xmind, you can also add hyperlinks to any web address. Xmind allows you to drill down and focus on a specific branch. When you do this, the branch you drill down into becomes the central branch on the map. Once you've created your mind map, you can export and share it with friends and colleagues. Let them change things on your mind map to take the ideas further. To get started with Xmind, go to www.xmind.net and download the free version today.
Okay, so there it is, guys. Xmind, the free version, that's what I've got. I love the drill down feature. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's on the free version or not, but it looks pretty awesome. Definitely check this out. This is a very, very good product for mind mapping if you want to do it online and collaborate. Generally, I tend to do this on paper first. This says Xmind is highlighted by lifehacker.com as the most popular mind mapping tool. Okay, so there's Xmind. Check it out. Next, we have iPhoto. Everybody knows what that is. iTunes, the new iBooks. Calendar that I'm kind of, getting used to right now because of the simple fact that, because I kind of like Google Calendar a lot better. The colors are brighter. Even though the corners aren't rounded like they are on the calendar here, the corners are kind of, it's straight rectangles. It just looks a little cleaner, and I like the colors. They're brighter, so I don't use Calendar that much. Let me actually take it off here. FileZilla. FileZilla, most everyone knows what FileZilla is. In case you don't, let's do a quick review. It's the free FTP solution. File Transfer Protocol is FTP. Basically, this allows you to, and you need the client, not the server, but the client. Basically, it is a free FTP solution. It's open source software, free of charge under the GNU General Public License. Features. Fast, reliable, cross-platform client with lots of useful features, easy to use. Here's all the different features. But what FTP means is basically you can go to a server or your own computer. Like if you want to upload files to your website or to other websites or to a friend's computer, you basically set up FileZilla on that, or you find the host name and the password and everything so that you can transfer files that way. We all know that email is no big, it's not a really good platform to transfer files through with, because, Gmail, for example, you can only transfer 25 megs at a time. That's terrible. It allows you to use Google Drive, but you don't want to, bloat your drive up with all these files that you don't want to keep. So FileZilla is the other solution. You can transfer as many files as you want to, whatever size. You're only limited by the bandwidth that you have, and if the server or your website is stays on. If you have to do this with computer to computer, then both of these computers have to stay on for it to work. Whereas a server basically is on all the time, and you can just use it to transfer files to. So check it out. Do some YouTube video searches on this, and it'll explain a lot better than I can. It can get a little complicated, but I've just got a basic knowledge of it myself. So definitely check that out. Next, we have Google Drive. As I've already mentioned, everybody knows what Google is, and most people know what Google Drive is. Basically, is a place to store things online. It's a cloud service. So if you don't want to bog your machine, your computer down with a lot of files, or you want to be able to access some of your files on more than one computer, like if you go to a library and you want to access your files on that computer, Google Drive is online. Drive.google.com basically is what it is. Okay, so here we have Google Drive. Okay, it's a home for your files. If you have a computer, let's forget the library example. Let's just say you wanted to go to have a laptop, and you're out somewhere in town, and you've got a file that you need to access. If you've loaded this to Google Drive, if you've uploaded it to Google Drive, then it's online. The server's online. You can access it from any computer in the world, as long as you know your name and password. And it is the same password across all Google platforms because it uses your Google password. So Google Drive is basically a place for you to store some files that you need to access through another computer, or just for easy access, that to keep your computer from getting bogged down. Now, if I just go to Google Drive and go to this thing, maybe there we go. All your safe place, one safe place for all your stuff. Uploads videos, documents, and other files that are important to you. You get up to free 15 gigabytes of free storage. Okay, so it's not 5, it's 15. They actually upped that. It used to be 5. That's awesome. Next thing, everything you want everywhere you go. With Drive, your stuff goes where you go. You can organize, edit, and share it from any computer at drive.google.com or on the go with a Drive mobile app. Drive comes with built-in apps to help you get stuff done. Write a short story, create a shared budget, sign and fax an important document. Everything you make is automatically saved in Drive. So the cool thing about this is, I was talking about OpenOffice and LibreOffice earlier. Google Drive has its own Office suite as well, totally free. It's kind of limited to features, but I think they keep adding stuff to it all the time. So if I go to Google Drive apps, here's what you have. You have Docs, which is the same thing as Word. Sheets, which is a spreadsheet. Slides, that's presentation. Google Keep, Google Quick Office, Open and Edit Microsoft Office documents, spreadsheets, and presentations. That's if you don't have OpenOffice. You can just go to Google's version of Microsoft Office. Drawings, scripts, tables, all kinds of stuff, okay? And you can do this collaborationally. You can do this online with other people, which is why they should include some kind of app for a mind map tool. That'd be awesome. So you have storage, lots of stuff. You got 15 free gigabytes. And if you want more, you can actually use, it shows how much you've used. If you want more, you can get more storage starting at $4.99 a month, $5 a month for 100 gigabytes. That's $60 a year for 100 gigs. I mean, that's awesome. That's a really good price. $60 a year. Okay, and this is if you're working. It kind of gets an upgraded version of Google Drive if you pay that extra feature. Okay, you can use your own logo, and there's just a few other things. And to get there, you go to google.com/a. Oops, we don't want analytics, we want A. And that'll give you Google Apps for Business, which is basically Google Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Doc Sheets, everything in a business way. Okay, so you got your pricing here, $5 a month for storage here on Gmail and Drive storage. Now, I said $5 a month earlier for 100 gigs, so they may not have updated this. I don't know. So, but anyway, that's Google Drive and Google Apps. You can check those out. Once again, that was google.com/a for apps. Okay, so that is Drive. Next, we have MediaFire. This is a place that I also use. And if the video is getting too long, I apologize. But I'm going to finish this video. And actually, we don't have a whole lot more to discuss. MediaFire is... Now, let me go back here. I didn't mean to do that. All right. By the way, this screen desktop wallpaper I used from, that's Michael Hyatt over there. I used this from his best year ever, I think, course that's coming up. MediaFire is all about sharing files again, just like Google Drive. But MediaFire actually has more storage space. It has 50 gigs, okay, and it's free. You're limited as to what you can upload at any time. You know, other people can only upload like 200 megs. I recently found that out with a virtual assistant, which was a pain. We had to kind of work around that, but it's kind of like Google Drive. Definitely you want to check it out. You access your media no matter where you are. Connect, share, basically screenshot, show them what you're working on. Everything that you can do for a Drive, you can do in MediaFire. I just like the MediaFire interface a little bit better, and you have more storage space for free. Notifications, screen capture to easily share your screen with others. New users receive free photos, videos, music, and more. And so you got all these different outlets here with MediaFire. That's just really cool. Need to go check it out. And maybe if I go to help, it'll sell more. No, it won't tell me more. That'll just take me back to the main site. Here we go. All your media anywhere on the go. Share your media. And it just tells you what it does, basically. Okay? So, you need to check it out. It's a really good program that you can check out. Alright, so that's MediaFire. I've used that for a long time. Then Dropbox. Everybody knows what Dropbox is. It's another way to, as you notice, I have these, cloud storage devices all on my dock for a reason at the same spot. I've kind of organized this in guitar and music apps. Then we have, browsers, internet stuff. Then we have this would be the random Office suite. Video stuff right here. All this is video stuff. Then I have Skype that's just randomly there. Photo editing. It's kind of all in here. Xmind is just a random tool. Then I got iTunes. All the stuff is kind of close together. iCalendar. FileZilla. This is also file transferring and file storage. So this Dropbox here is basically another place for you to add files and collaborate with other people. And it's the cool thing about it is you can get more gigabytes through the more people that you refer and that sign up. It's free, but as with anything else, you can upgrade if you need to. So it's a place to collaborate and share files if you need to with business partners, virtual assistants, things like that. Okay, so learn about Dropbox for Business. And here's your, manage your team, deploy, manage Dropbox for your business with centralized administration, SSO, and more. So you can check that out. Pricing here. Free up to 2 gigabytes. Like I said, the more people you refer that sign up, the more gigabytes you can get. Pro is $10 a month for 100 gigs, which is $5 more than Google. And you don't get, productivity suite for that. So not exactly sure why you want Pro. Maybe worth it, I don't know. Then you get $15 a month for business. And you get all the features like team management and things like that. Okay, so that's Dropbox. Most people know about that. I always have my calculator on my dock. I'm always accessing it. I don't like going back to the dashboard. I hardly ever use that thing. So I always like my calculator here. Stickies I have enabled here. Love my sticky notes. I use those frequently. I don't have them open right now because I have some kind of private stickies for myself. Notes here that I use. A notepad that came, once again, with MacX. Been keeping up with some quotes and things like that. The benefits of having a team. This also came from Michael Hyatt, which is the guy in the background here. Every time I hire someone else, my income goes up. Why? Because it allows me to focus on what I do best and where I can generate even more revenue. This came from his podcast, episode number 3, How to Delegate to a Staff Even If You Don't Have One, I think is what it's called. What happiness really is another quote from him that I really like. Happiness is not a destination. It's what happens when we pursue any meaningful goal and make significant progress toward that goal. If you don't have a goal and you're not experiencing that sense of progress, you're not going to be happy. Everything is at stake by not pursuing the transformation you want right now. Okay, so just different things that I use, and I'll go over this thing later, the Pomodoro technique. I'm actually probably going to do a screencast on that, so that'll be really cool. So some different things that I don't want to have to add to sticky notes all over the place. I've just put them in my notepad for my personal use. So that is notes/notepad. And let me move my dock back over here. That's cool when you have multiple displays. All you have to do is put your mouse on the bottom and it instantly pops up. The next thing we have is text edit. I use this quite a bit just for general, text stuff that I need to type in. That doesn't really merit having making a note out of. Once again, we have text stuff here, except OpenOffice is all the way over here for some reason. I haven't moved it. We have system preferences. That's always a good thing to have on your dock so you can easily access the preferences on your Mac. I have my disk utility right here, something I use. I have something here called snippets. Now this basically, I don't know if I can find this again, so I'll just open this up and see exactly what it is. Snippets. Install update. Let's actually go to a website if we can. See if we can find one here. Here it is, I think. Snippets.me. Snippets, okay, it's a code manager. Stores your code snippets, helps you organize and reuse them in different projects, syncs between your computers, and much more. It's free to start, which I don't know if that means you have to pay to keep going. To start, it's free. Basically, there's a screenshot. Well, I thought it was. Yeah, it's not going to show it to me. Basically, snippets is you can generate code and you can save code. Like some code that I have here is some, I think this is for my newsletter, this is an actual form. And this is all the code I don't have to memorize. So I saved it as a snippet. Okay, so that way I can use it later. If I forget the code or I lose it, I can use it later. And as you can see, there's not a lot of stuff here. I don't really use this a lot. Most of the time I use Notepad or another app for Chrome called QuickNote. It's really good for that. I need to add those here, but this is really good for people that may be developers out there. Okay, the next thing I have is my activity monitor. which is basically my task manager, so to speak, for Mac. Okay, so all this stuff that's being monitored and shows me what's taking the most time and all these. Obviously, QuickTime is taking more time because I'm screen recording right now. And if you need to find that, you can go to your applications and you go to utilities. And that's where you're going to find your activity monitor. Right there it is. First thing it pops up. Okay. All right. So that is activity monitor. It is very good tool to have for, you know, if your Mac is running slow or whatever. Now we have some other things here that I just recently installed not too long ago, and one of them is called Onyx. Onyx basically is a well, here we go. It's a multifunctional utility for OS X. It allows you to verify the startup disk and the structure of its system files, to run miscellaneous tasks for system maintenance, configure the hidden parameters of the Finder, the dock, the Spotlight, and some of Apple's own applications, to delete caches, to remove a certain number of files and folders that may become cumbersome, and more. All right, let's see. This has actually become a cool tool. It's free. You can find that by just like I did. I just typed in Onyx in the web search, and that's what it gave me, the very first thing. It's a Mac update link, so that's where you're going to find it to download. And if I go to Onyx and play the video, this is what it's going to show me.
Optimize and maintain your Mac easily with Onyx. This long-trusted, multifunctional utility for your Mac allows you to verify your startup disk and the structure of its system files, helping to prevent from suffering massive data loss. Onyx offers the option to configure hidden parameters of the Finder, dock, Spotlight, some of Apple's own applications, and more. Run daily, weekly, and monthly maintenance scripts on your own schedule to keep your Mac running in tip-top shape. Quickly choose and run automated tasks easily, only performing the tasks you need. Delete caches that could be taking up precious drive space, and easily remove browser-specific items all at the same time. Onyx features Wi-Fi diagnostics that allow you to diagnose your wireless network, capture network traffic, enable debug logs, and more. Keep your Mac clean, optimized, and running at its best with Onyx. Download it today at macupdate.com/Onyx.
Yes, guys, download it today. It's free. It's easy. Well, it's pretty easy to use. You definitely want to check into it before you start check marking everything that's on the list and doing all kinds of cleaning up and everything. So you definitely want to go, and maybe if there's a manual here, you can kind of find out about that. The other thing is something called Omni Disk Sweeper. And it's a pretty cool tool for helping you find, looks like this might be where it came from. It's helping you find where files are that are taking up a lot of space. So great at what it does. It shows you the files on your disk drive in descending order by size and letting you decide what to do with them. Delete away, but exercise caution. Basically, it allows you to find out where all the extra space is going to. So if I go to About This Mac, and I go to More Info, okay, and I go to Storage. On Macs, there's this aggravating thing of other memory, okay, and it's hard to locate where that is. Right now I have a ton of movies, as you can see, over 160 gigs of movies here. There we go. Let's zoom in here so you can see what's going on. 166 gigs of movies here, because a lot of these are videos that I'm editing for iMovie for YouTube, or part of my Bluegrass course. So once that gets completed, I can clear all that space out. 3 terabytes, people, awesome. Most of this is other, which you can't categorize it. My passport is right now designated for my backups, so that's what that's for, and that's what that is. Backups right here. Okay, so this right here, we have this annoying thing of other, okay, and we can't figure out what it is. Well, when you run Omnidisk Sweeper allows you to find out exactly where this, maybe not, it's not going to tell you that it's called other, but it will tell you what exactly is taking up so much space on your Macintosh. So I tell it to sweep my drive. It's not going to clean anything. It's not going to do anything like that. All it does is analyze what's on your computer and tells you exactly how many megs and how many gigs it's taking up. Okay. And by the way, Omni Group here that you see, their apps are usually, you have to pay for them. But if you go to omnigroup.com/more, you'll see these free programs which you can download on OmniDisk Sweeper, and it's totally free. There's some other apps that they have which I won't go into, but right now it's sweeping my Macintosh, it's sizing it, getting an idea of how much, what exactly is what size and what is other sizes. Okay, so while that's waiting, this is my wireless router manager, the Netgear Genie. The next thing I have is something called Show or Hide, which is a very cool program, and I'll show you how to get that. Show or Hide, basically, you have to do this in the terminal, and if you want to see the hidden files in the Macintosh, which you definitely want to use with discretion. If you don't know what it is, don't delete it, leave it alone. But if you want to find hidden files on your Mac, this is the easiest tool that I found to do it without having to type all this code and everything. Alright, so before we get to that, it says it's still sizing. Okay, there's still a bit more to be had here. So we have Show or Hide. It's going to do this little load screen, and all of a sudden it's going to pop up a little tool for me to use that allow me to show or hide hidden files. And when you enable this, what's going to happen is it's going to close your Finder, because you have to do this in the terminal. It has to close all the Finder windows for it to enable or disable hidden files. So, but the cool thing is it will reopen up your Finder window automatically on its own. So now you'll notice the first thing you open it's in a weird language. All you have to do is go up here to Langue. I think this is French. I'm not sure. All you got to do is go up here, and once the pinwheel stops spinning, come down to Anglais, and then you can see Show or Hide. Now I'm not going to do this, but if you click Show, it will show the hidden files, and then it'll tell you hidden files are visible. If you click Hide, well, it would be the opposite. Okay. All right. Here we go. Right now, this is sizing what's going on. Okay. So I have. It tells me just by looking at this, I have 200 something gigs. Let's say it was done sizing and analyzing. Then it tells me, it breaks it down where it's coming from. Okay, so here's my hard drive. This is what is taking up my space. Okay, we have all the other space, that yellow space you saw is right here. A bunch of this is whatever you don't know what it is. MediaFire is holding 5 gigs of things. I didn't even know that was on here. Okay, so I can go and delete that off my computer so it doesn't pose that threat. Google Drive is holding so many gigs. These are basically folders that are synced up with Google Drive and MediaFire, but it's causing me to have 8.5 gigs on my computer that I don't need. And I access this stuff online, so why do I need it on my computer? You know, this app down here, all that was for is to going to the Google Drive on my desktop to make it easier, but it does come with a cost, and that in this case is the cost of the price that you're having to pay here. So let's go back. Go back to where I was at, sort. So I can go to my movies. I can see exactly what all the movies are being taken up. I can see exactly what music is being taken up, analyze it, and each one of these arrows tells me what it's going to be. So I can go into pictures. I can go into documents. Say I've got a document stuff. So I got all these things, and it tells me the things that are taking up the most space. So I can kind of basically break down what is taking up so much space on my computer. Okay, very handy feature to have. Okay, so now we have applications are taking up 7 gigs, and it's going to go up higher. We have my libraries taking up 6 gigs. We have OmniDisk Sweeper, very awesome program. And over here, the Show or Hide, I need to show you where to get that. So to get there, just go to Show or Hide, and the first thing that comes up, and it's all one word, first thing that comes up is that link. So it's a utility for files, for hidden files and all this. Works great. I'm using Mavericks. It works great on Mavericks. It's free. You can use it as you want, as long as you want. You download it, and it's ready to go. Okay. Here's the 64-bit mode if you need it. But it's for Mac. It's not for Windows, so it is for Mac. Okay. So it's a very handy program. Like I said, I use it a lot when I need to. We have keychain access here. Oh, that's why I gotta do that. Well, actually, let me go back here for a second. How about? Okay, if you find a bug, then you can email the dude. All right, so you have to have version 10.5 minimum for this to work. All right. Yeah, Leopard. Okay, so that's those. The other thing is keychain access, and that's for passwords and stuff. The last thing on my dock, and then I'll get to this is basically my downloads, my documents, applications, and my movies, and also the trash can. That's what I prefer to have on my dock to access very easily. Archive utility. To access archive utility, okay, this is very a good little idea to use if, and I think I'm good to close this. This is a good little idea that you can use, the archive utility little tool, if you want to tell it what to do with zip files. Okay, I've got mine set to relocate zip files that are deleted to a special backup folder on my computer, so that I can, if I accidentally need them again, I can go back and get them. And as far as my tags work right now, everything that's red, well, I'll just show you down here. Everything that's red is extra space on the hard drive, so that whenever I click that, it will show me everything that's taking up all that space that on my hard drive. So I don't have to look for it on the disk sweeper. If I know it's something I'm not going to be accessing for a while, or it might be hidden deep within the system somewhere, I'll click a tag to locate it as extra space so that I can use it. But to access the archive utility, because it's not accessible by default, you have to put it in the dock. You go to your Macintosh HD, System, Library. Now this has to be this library. You can't do it by going to Go, pressing Option, and then bam, your library's there. It's not the same library. So you have to go to System, then Library. Then you're going to go to Core Services, and it should be here. Archive Utility right there. When you double click that, and I will go ahead and do this. What's the applications here, I wonder? Okay, just miscellaneous one. When you double click the archive utility, it will come up. It's not going to show you window. It's just going to come up here in the menu bar, okay? Go to Preferences, and now you can access this. And while this is here, so you don't have to do this again, tell it to right-click and go to Options and tell it to Keep in Dock. That way you don't have to access it again in case you want to tweak it anymore, okay? And that's cool. Assigned to other desktops. I didn't know you could do that. Anyway, I've got this. After expanding the archive, this is what happens. The expanded files is on this side of the dividing line. The directory, let's see, after archiving, these are the original files, what you do with these, okay? So I want to expand the files in the same directory. Say I went to Downloads. Say I went to, I've got downloads, I've got zip files in here, okay? And so I'm going to open it up here, double click it, and it will expand it to the same folder. Then when I delete the actual archive, it's going to move it to that backup folder that I assigned, okay? And you can tell it to, it will say, you know, move files to, and that's what will be enabled down here. You can tell it to delete the archive, you can tell it to move the archive to the trash, and you can tell it to do nothing. But I prefer to, when I delete it, to move it to the backups in case I need it for future reference. That's a good little thing to do. Now, this will tell you these are some other things that you can check mark. And then when you save the archive, you can save it into the same directory, or you can tell it to go to a different folder, which, you know, basically you want to save it in the same directory. The archive format, you can use different kinds. And then after archiving, you can tell it the original files that are not the original files, but the files that are now archived, I tell them to leave them alone because obviously I want them to stay where they are so I can move them later if I need to. And you can tell them to be moved somewhere else if you want to. I'm not sure what this does yet. I've just left it checked so that I can see what it does and then get to that later. But anyway, this has been a quite lengthy video, guys. I apologize for that. But I've been wanting to do this for a while. And I'm not going to piece this video out. This is going to be one long video. So watch it, and if you don't want to watch the whole thing, remember where you were, come back and rewatch the rest of it, okay? Hope this has been helpful to you guys, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment, like, and let me know your thoughts about these. I know they could probably be shorter, but I want to do some more screencasts for you that I have in mind and that I have been putting on Trello and things like that. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video, whatever that may be. You guys have a great day, and go check out some of these items for your dock on a Macintosh system. All right, thanks so much. Talk to you guys later.